Man, you already know what it is. Jay Williams, Let's Live Life, and we're back. Man, oh man, do I got a story for y'all today on this beautiful Saturday. When racism in prison backfires. So you think you gonna walk around here feeling some type of way because you're locked up with other races. Shouldn't have got your dumb ass locked up. You think you gonna say little slick stuff out your mouth, calling people outside their names, using racial terms, and this ain't gonna end bad? You're not even from here. You came here from another state. I guess where you were at, that stuff flew. But now you've ended up in a place where the environment has completely changed. You are now the minority. But your views haven't changed. The way you act towards other races hasn't changed. And you thought that was going to end good for you? Stop it. Stop it. Scott, a.k.a. Loki. Now, when I first heard of Loki, I thought they were saying low key. Like the word low and then the word key. They were calling him Loki. For y'all to know any type of history, I've looked it up. Loki is like the god of mischief. That's Odin's son. And a lot of these guys, you know, they do the Odinism stuff. They look into Thor and, you know, it's just a lot that goes into it. But Scott, a.k.a. Loki, the guy that showed up from another whole state, came here and thought he was going to get slick out of his mouth. Made little comments time and time again like he was the alpha, when in reality, he was a beta. He was prey. He was food. It's only so long the fake can pretend. That's a fact. It's so long you can act gangster until somebody's going to test your gangster. And that's a fact. Dudes might have been rocking with you at the last place you was at in that state over there. But over here, ain't nobody trying to get jammed up behind your ignorance. You ain't about to be calling people no crazy words out your mouth and think people's going to rock with you like that when they don't really agree with your views. Scott, a.k.a. Loki, the man that had to find the hard lesson about what happens when you're outnumbered and you want to continue to be racist in prison. Once again, it is Saturday. I hope you all have the best today. If you're off, enjoy this video. And if you're at work, I hope I can help you pass your time by listening or watching this video. And if this is your first time, my name is Jay Williams, and this is Jay Williams, Let's Live Life. I hope to see you again. But with all that being said, y'all know I done seen it. You know I done lived it. So let's relive it. Now, there's a lot that happens in today's story, and I'm going to try to do this story without it being drawn out too long. What y'all don't realize is people say you talk too fast, slow it down. Before this video gets to you, it's about an hour and a half long, and that's with me talking fast. Then I edit it, and I get it under 45 minutes, between 30 and 45 minutes. If I talked really, really slow throughout the entire video, this would be a 3-hour video. I'd have to edit it, and you wouldn't get it till tomorrow. So I have to talk up a little bit. If you think I'm talking too fast, just listen a little faster. So on my longest bid, I end up at this place where you have a very diverse group of men. Hundreds of men. But by far are the white people the majority. No, not at all. It's usually not like that at all in Virginia. You are usually the minority. White guys usually make up, I would say, 10 to 15% of the inmate population once you get to prison at certain prisons. Most of the prisons I've been to, it's 15% or less. That's the white population. Now, you have racism. We all know it exists. There's no way around it. There's a lot of ignorant people in the world. 1945 is still very alive in some guys' heads. Some people go through things that cause them to feel a certain way towards an entire race because of what one person did to them, or because of the household they were brought up in, or because of how their family is, or because they're easily influenced by what other people say. But this place I'm at this point, you have to have 3 years or less to be there. This place does reentry. It does behavioral modification. They're trying to get to the root of the problem before you get back out into society and do it again. We always had a large influx of guys coming and going. With you having to have this amount of time or less, and it's also being a reentry, a place that is designed to get men ready to go back out into society, guys are leaving daily. I did not like this place. It's one thing to do your time. It's another thing when you're seeing 5 or 6 guys go home every single day. You look out that front door of the building and you see guys leaving every day except Saturday and Sunday, and it kind of starts to wear on you. Man, I wish I was going home. But at the same time, you also get the sense of feeling, ain't gonna be long. I'm gonna be one of them guys walking down the boulevard, getting up out of here late. I can't believe I made it. You get two new guys in one day, white dude and the black dude. And the black dude is excessively tall. You ever seen somebody that's tall, and then you see somebody that's really, really tall, and you're like, damn, that dude, he should be playing center, just putting his hand in front of the rim. Massive ass black dude, right? But then in comes Loki. Now, Loki is your average size. I wouldn't even say average size. Loki was a shorter dude, 5'7", stocky, but with a little gut. You ever seen somebody that's got a good upper body build, like they were big at one point, but they got a little pouch on the bottom where they're power eating when they lift weights? And he is covered. That's the first thing I noticed, aside from his physique, the tattoo on the side of his head. But the first thing I noticed is this dude is plastered in racist tattoos. He's got the bolts underneath his eyes, the stereotypical lightning bolts that come with that type of beliefs. If you don't know what that is, look it up. And then I see the tattoos on his arms, which is really, really good work. But as you look closer, you start to realize these are racially themed tattoos. He's got a warbird. For anybody who knows what a warbird is, look it up. He's got this warbird tattooed on the side of his head, 1488 on the other side of his head, some big, like, it looks almost like a shield on top of his head. And everybody calls him Loki. Now, you got other Aryan dudes in here. Let me back that up. This dude is part of the Aryan Brotherhood. You got other Aryan dudes in here that as soon as they see him, they walk up and they introduce themselves and they flock off to the corner. Hey, I'm going to put my stuff away. Well, I sleep in this bed. I'm all the way in the back in the corner. I sleep in this bed, and then right beside my bed, there's an aisle where people walk down, and then there's another row of bunks, and another row of bunks, and then an aisle, and then another row of bunks. My bed is here. His bed is here. So I see him when he comes in. I see him put his stuff on his bed. He opens his locker. He starts putting his stuff away, and he looks over and goes, "What's up, man?" Now, I've got a black dude sitting in the cut with me. This is my homeboy. Just kind of trying to say, like, I guess he lives next to me. Hey, what's up, man? No conversation. I could see soon as he seen who I was hanging out with, he didn't want much kick it with me. He didn't want to talk with me, and I'm okay with that. I don't ever want to talk to you either. Stay over there. So when he said what's up, that would be when I started noticing his tattoos. I continued to talk to my homeboy. Mind you, we're maybe 10 foot apart. Maybe 12 at the most, right? He's making his bed by now. And I'm looking at the different tattoos, the spider webs and the 1488 and the warbird and the bolts and all the tattoos I haven't seen yet. A lot of times when you're coming off of transport and you've been in transport all day, being transported from one place to the next can be an all-day process. His process was over the matter of a week or so. He had come from another state. But I'll get into that in a minute. He gets his stuff and he goes and takes a shower. When he comes in, I want to say it's shortly after lunch, so they haven't called afternoon rec. A little bit after that, he goes on outside. That would be the first time I really got to see the overall amount of racist tattoos he had on his body. Like, it just wasn't a couple bolts and this and that. When the man took his shirt off, he just had different depictions of hate tattooed throughout his body. On his biceps, swastikas here, swastikas there. He had a whole collage of different swastikas. I remember in the center of his chest, it looked like his skin was tearing. You ever seen those skin tear tattoos? And in the center of it, where his heart should have been, there was a big swastika right inside the tear out. Crazy looking. But in the first few weeks of him being there, he would rub people wrong. Like, all the way wrong. He would rub other white dudes wrong. He would rub the other Aryans wrong to the point he kind of isolated himself. And a lot of this was because of his beliefs and how outspoken he was. And the words he would say were just straight up just ignorant. Like, he would make comments about black dudes and Spanish dudes and Asian dudes. And he would say it loud enough that dudes would overhear him. So little incidents would pop off here and there. And these other Aryan dudes don't want no type of conflict. They're under 3 years. They're trying to go home. They're not trying to get caught up because this dude's calling people racial slurs. So they one by one started to fall back from him. So we hear a little bit more about how he shows up here. They did what's called an interstate compact. For anybody that knows about this, you know. If not, I'm going to break it down real quick. If you are say you live in New York, right? And you're locked up. And there's a guy in Florida that is also locked up. But he's from New York, and he went down to Florida, and he got himself locked up. Or say his mama lives in New York, and he went down to Florida and got himself locked up. And in New York, there's a guy that came from Florida, and vice versa. If you're trying to get closer to home, and you can prove you have ties to that state, like immediate family, mother, father, children, wife, something like that, you can put it in, and eventually, not always, but a lot of times, they will ship you back to your home state. They end up shipping this guy from Utah to Virginia. And a Virginia inmate that's got ties to Utah gets shipped from Virginia to Utah. Now, this dude wasn't I wouldn't say he was no slouch, but he wasn't the best fighter in the world. I seen him get into it with a Spanish dude outside, and everybody broke it up. But had they not broke it up, the Spanish dude was 100% whooping his ass, putting them paws on him, walking them dogs on him, lumpity lump, pinging his face up, and the dude was rumbling. I can't say Loki didn't fight. Loki would straight up fight, but dude was, bam, what'd you call me? Bam, what? Spooky, bam. Whooping his ass. Dude that was beating him up, his name was Spooky. So with me being on the back wall, that's one of the best cuts you can have. That's one of the best bunks you can have, because to my right, when I get out of bed, there's a wall there. I don't have to share my area with another man. There's not 2 chairs in my little 3-foot wide aisle. It's just me. So when dudes would want to get away from just the constant chaos and noise, they're bunky, whatever it may be, a lot of times dudes will come back there and kick it with me. AJ, let me pull up a chip. I'm back here because I don't want to be bothered. Dudes will come back there and kick it. So I'm sitting with a younger white dude named Brandon, and Brandon tells me, he sees dude at his bunk, and he says, man, I can't stand that dude. I said, well, say something. He said, I ain't like all that, but I just can't stand him. He said, I ain't even got to say nothing. Dudes in here are eventually going to get at him. I mean, we all know that, but do you know something I don't know? I've heard him drop the N-bomb a couple times. Word? I mean, just like say it. And after he says it, he's so ignorant to the fact that he's no longer in a predominantly white environment that he's still doing it, but he'll say it, and no sooner he says it, he'll be like, ooh. And he'll look around and see if anybody heard him. I don't think nobody's really come across hearing him yet, outside of what we already know is it's been caught. But in due time, he's going to say something that's really going to offend somebody, and it's going to get him hurt. The first situation that I officially saw him get himself into would be a dude named Mike. Mike is from around my way. I know Mike from the streets. I knew his mother. Mike's a younger black dude. We became pretty good friends. Mike was my guy. Mike slept on the opposite side of him. Now, their bunks were, there's 2 lockers standing up, and then their bunks are butted back to back. You know what I mean? So there's no getting away from it. He's got a dude, and he's sitting in the cut when he's talking to this other white dude one day, and Mike's sitting in his bunk, and he had just come back from the shower, and he's drying his feet. He's got his shower shoes on. He's leaning forward, and he's wiping his feet, and he's wiping the back of his leg. He's drying his shower shoes when he overhears Loki say some racist stuff. Man, y'all be letting these dudes just do whatever in here. You got the N-words walking around here thinking they hard. You got the N-words, got the white boys scared, like y'all make us look bad. Y'all got y'all's little tattoos, but y'all don't put them on display like I do. Y'all didn't earn y'all's like I do. Like these N-words be driving me crazy here. I wish I was back in Utah. These N-words, they just kept dropping this N-bomb. Back to back, to the point that Mike overhears it. Like, what's up, man? Say that N-word out your mouth again, man. I keep hearing you say it. You disrespecting racist. Say that N-word out your mouth again. Loki goes to stand up. Mike swings on him. They lock up. They go in the bed. They fall over to the next, like, cut between 2 beds, and they go to rumbling. A guard comes through the door while this fight's taking place. Now, this fight is going on probably 45 seconds at this point. Both of them are holding their own, and they're going at it. Nobody's getting in it. At this point, Mike's done split the side of his nose. You know, not bust his nose, but like split this little piece of meat here. I don't know if he grabbed it, pulled it, hit it with something. I don't know, but I know when he gets up, he's got a small cut on the inside of his nostril, and it's leaking out. Everybody breaks the fight. Hey, chill. The guard's coming in. They didn't care if this dude left. Nobody cared if Loki left up out of here. But we didn't want to see Mike get jammed up. So you had a bunch of us, me included. Hey, the police coming. Stop. Hey, grab Mike. We pull them apart. It dies right there. Usually when you fight, the situation dies right there. Mike tells him after the guard goes out, keep running your mouth. Say something else racist. Now a bunch of dudes are gathered up behind Mike, telling him, you say one more racist thing, I swear to God, we're going to do you real dirty. It ain't going to just be me. We're going to all mob down on you. We're going to put something in you. We're going to break you off real decent. Believe whatever you want to believe, but stop calling us that N-word. Now, this is right after fights taking place. These dudes got a whole bunch of dudes backing them. Loki ain't got nobody. Everybody he did kick it with at this point is falling back from him because of his racist antics, the words he would say. You're not trying to stand next to nobody that's coming out their mouth with N-bomb after N-bomb after N-bomb, just dropping this N-word. And first of all, you don't get down like that. You don't believe in those views. This is not the 1920s. Like, what are you doing? Like, come on, massa, chill out. But Mike lets him know, next time somebody hears you come out your mouth like that, we're going to try to break all that. Like, you're going to leave up off here. You're going back to Utah. You're going home in a box. You're going to the hole. You transferring compounds. You're not going to keep disrespecting people like that with your racist ass. And he ain't really saying much. You can just see he's mad. His nose is still leaking. He's done wiped it, and it's still leaking again. He's, all right, yeah, whatever. All right, yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Ain't nobody scared. Just running a little bit of mouth to where other dudes are starting to get rowdy now. The guard comes back through the back door. Here's a little commotion. Everything all right in him. I got to lock some people up. People trying to go to the hole, what y'all trying to do? Trying to lose your good time and spend more time in prison? And that would be when everything kind of dispersed and went its different way. I sit back down on my bunk. I look over this dude. He gets a piece of tissue. He gets his mirror. He's cleaning his nose, looking at himself. And you can just see the hate boiling inside of him. I don't know what made this man this way. I would love to know what can turn one person this mad, this angry. What can happen to make you hate an entire race of people when you only know a small fraction of them? Anyways, now Loki's one of the dudes that no matter where you put him, he's going to cause trouble. There's going to be issues. Not long after this, he gets into it with Sergeant Johnson. Sergeant Johnson is not only a sergeant, not only has rank, he's a big-ass man. Damn, it is bright in this car. It just got God, is that you? Like, it just got bright in here. Sergeant Johnson is a big-ass man. He's not a man that the average person wants to wreck with. If he wants to trash you, drag you, pick you up, choke you out, take you to the hole by 1 foot, he's big enough and strong enough that unless you can match his strength and his height, he's going to do just that. Well, he gets to argue with him out front one day. This dude, Loki, is coming in the building, and 2 buildings over at the time, the building I'm living in, you got 2 more buildings beside it. There's another Aryan dude going on in those buildings. They stop on what we call the boulevard. That's a stretch of concrete that goes between the buildings to different parts of the prison. We call that the boulevard. He stops and gets talking to another one of these Aryan dudes, and they just come back from commissary. And he reaches in his bag, and he's giving this dude some things, and this dude shoving it inside his jacket, and Johnson comes over there and says, "Hey, open your jacket up, man. Y'all can't be passing stuff off. This is how debts are paid. This is how debts are created. It's frowned upon in prison to give another inmate anything that's yours. You can't do it. It's against the rule book. You get rolled up. It's a charge." Johnson comes over there and asks the guy, "What you got in your jacket, man? We just talking. What you just put in your jacket?" "I don't got nothing in my jacket." He grabs his jacket, unzips it, pulls it open. Soups, chips, honey buns, bags of coffee. All that stuff falls out on the ground. Sergeant Johnson tells the dude, "Give me your ID. We have a prison-issued ID. You keep clipped to your shirt." Takes his ID. You're going to read about it, go to your building. Dude walks off. Loki's still standing there. Johnson reaches over to pick the stuff up, and this dude acts like he's going to do something, like bucks at him, does some stupid, immature shit, at which time Johnson, big black man, comes up, drops some soups, grabs him, slams him over the grass, puts his knee in his back, and handcuffs him. He ready goes in. We got an issue with offender, and all these guards come running, right? They get Loki up out the dirt. His commissary's, listen to this, his commissary's still laying there. The guards pick the commissary up, put it in the bag, and I don't know where the bag went. Maybe they put it in his property, maybe they gave it away, maybe they threw it in the trash. But even the guards didn't like this dude because of his racist antics. The tattoos he displayed that let them know this guy don't like me, so I don't like him. He wouldn't be in the hole very long for this. He never put his hands on the guard, but he did move towards him in kind of, I guess what you could say, an aggressive manner. A manner that would make you think, this man's getting ready to attack me, he's going to do something to me. I'm leaning over picking up something. He does like this. Johnson, get your ass on the ground. Manhandles him, takes him to the hole. Usually, you go to another building. They don't hold your bunks. Usually, you're going to go somewhere else, right? Or you're going to go, if you do come back in that pod, you're going to go to a different bed. I watched that bed sit open day after day after day. And all I could think is, please put somebody else back here. Don't put this dude in the bed next to me again. Look up one day. Here comes Loki through the door. He's got his property, couple bags, his boxes, and one dude in there at this point that still rocks with him walks up front, grabs his stuff, and helps him take his stuff to the back, put it on the bed, and he starts loading it into the locker. Why? Why do you got to put this dude beside me again? So that when I'm playing my music, I got him gritting over at me to the point that I'm looking back at him, and he will turn his head. To the point that anytime black dudes, Spanish dudes, anybody that's not severely racist, you can even be a white dude. If your beliefs ain't the same as his, he hates you. He's just a dude that's filled with his hate. He's covered in hatred tattoos. Why did y'all put this dude back here again? Plus, the back of the pod, where my bed is, his bed is, and the other 2 beds, that is the most dangerous part of this dorm. The cameras don't see back there. The guard in the control booth can't see through all the other bunks to see what's going on back there. It's nothing out the ordinary for dudes. Well, see me in the back then. A lot of times dudes want to go in the shower and fight. That's coming. But if there's people taking showers and the bathrooms got dudes on the toilet and stuff, let's go to the back corner. They'll go to the very back of the pod, right in front of my bunk, right in front of his bunk, right up against the wall, and they'll go ahead and square off and get it in, right? This dude's sitting here reading Mein Kampf. If you don't know what that is, look that up. Like, just displaying his ignorant beliefs, man. And then everything, I think hindsight is 20/20, they say it. I seen what was coming. I didn't know how it was going to happen, but I knew he wasn't going to do all his time here. I knew this was going to end with him being shipped. This was going to end with him getting hurt. It's going to end possibly with somebody else getting hurt. God knows how many people are going to get hurt. But I knew this dude was drawing attention and saying things that was going to get him jammed up in due time, and it was going to end bad. I honestly thought somebody's going to put a big-ass blade in this dude, and this ain't even a camp where they're pushing the blade like that. But somebody's going to end up putting a blade in him, because as much as he hates everybody else hates his ass just as much. Well, like I told you, guys are going home all the time. And over, I think it was like from a Monday to a Wednesday, we lost close to 15 guys that went home that week. So we have a bunch of empty bunks in here. In comes Big Dre, DeAndre. Big ass dude, right? Easily 6'3", 6'4", 240 pounds. Big muscle-headed, just as angry as Loki, if not. Yeah, that type of dude. And he didn't have a thing against white dudes. This wasn't no big racist black man, but this was a big black man that was standing on business and was not going to tolerate any type of disrespect or no bullshit from anybody of any race. He was there to do his little bit of time, been down 20 plus years, just wanted to do his time and go home. Well, you got Loki's bed here, and I told you got this bunk backed up to him. Mike ends up leaving. Mike goes home. Shout out to you, Mike. So now they put DeAndre in the bed, which you can call him Dre in the bed right next to Loki. And it's the same thing. He's got this white dude back there, and he's going through mind comp, and he's trying to school this dude on the beliefs of Hitler and everything Hitler did and that whole fiasco that took place with the Jews. And I guess DeAndre, more or less, he's got a TV. DeAndre would go out, work out. He had some other dudes he kicked away from around his way, make his food. But if he wasn't doing that, he would stay in his little cut back there and watch his little 13-inch TV. Didn't bother nobody. He laughed and joked just like the next man, but he wasn't a dude that was out there causing trouble. But if it came, he wasn't going to turn away from it. So something happens on the yard. I've heard rumors. I don't know for sure what happened, but what I do know is Loki gets into a situation outside on the basketball court. I guess cutting across the court, he made a comment to some dudes when the ball came at him. They ran up past him, and it kind of rubbed dudes the wrong way. I don't know if it was a fight. I know it was a scuffle. I don't know if it was a fight. I know something ensued, and he come in the building. Now, it is hot. This is like July, and when I mean it's hot, it's hot. You're on a blacktop outside. There's no shade anywhere. When you go out, you're out there for a minimum of an hour before you can come back in at gate break. He comes in after this little altercation walking across his basketball court, and now he's got to cut down this wall and go past DeAndre's bed to get to his bed. You're not supposed to cut through there. That's that man's space. It's known you don't cut through people's space, right? What does he do? Rather than going the long way, he disrespects Dre and cuts right between his cut. Dre's laying there watching TV. Dre sits up and tells him, hey, bro, don't walk through my cut no more. You see me, I got this bed for a reason because I don't want nobody by me. You see me laying here watching TV, don't walk through this cut no more. Dude don't say nothing. Still got an attitude, but he don't say nothing. Here's where he messes up. He goes and sits down. And Loki was a loudmouth. I don't think he had a volume knob on the way he talked. Or maybe he just had a death wish, right? He goes and sits down on the bed, talking to his homeboy again, and he's running his mouth about what happened outside. N-word this, N-word that. These N-words think they run things. Back where I'm from, blah, blah, blah. DeAndre hears the stuff. Very similar to what happened with Mike. He gets out of his bed, slides his boots on, turns his TV off, locks his locker. When you lock that locker, you know shit's about to get serious. That means I'm going to lock my stuff because the next people to come and get it's probably going to be the guards. He walks towards where this dude Loki's sitting on the bed. Now you got this little white dude with his back facing him. DeAndre shoves him out the chair. And before Loki can stand up, DeAndre open hand slaps Loki. Pow! What did he tell you about saying that race shit? Say that N-word again. Say that N-word again. Loki hops up, runs around the edge of the bed, and gets out into the aisle. So he's telling everybody, he's making this big announcement. Man, you snuck me. I was sitting there, you didn't let me get up. You slapped me in my face. And he does it in front of 80-some men. He does the unthinkable. And he drops the N-bomb with the hard R on it in front of everybody. To the point that now a whole lot of these guys in here are looking to get a piece of Loki. Like dudes are, man, you ain't nothing but a blah, blah, blah. White boy this, white boy that. And I get it. If you're going to call somebody out that name, that's the reason I don't like the term white boy. If you're going to call somebody out the name, be prepared to be called out yours. You're not exempt from racism if you're one of the most racist dudes in here, right? So he's walking up the aisle and DeAndre's telling him, nah, come back here. Come back here. You like to call people names. Come back here. Now, he can't keep going for it because now you got black guys done cut him off up here. The only way he can go is between the bunks. So he shoots to the bunk. Now the guard in the control booth can see him clear as day. and you see her stand up, she can see what's going on. You got guys squatting, guys scrambling to get from their bunks to go get with their squad. And you got this one lone white dude with these weird ass tattoos all over him, standing out in the middle of the aisle talking shit. It always ends bad. She calls the people. The people come in. DeAndre slapped the dog piss out of Loki to the point that his face is whelped up. He's visibly just been hit by a big ass, strong ass, swole ass hand across his face. The guards ask him what's going on. Ain't nothing going on. You definitely can't tell him nobody. You can have whatever label you want, but the worst one you can have is being a rat. Ain't nothing going on. And meanwhile, the guards are, something's going on. Somebody slapped the shit out you, but nobody's going to defend him. These are black guards that are asking this racist white dude what's going on. They're not about to do anything. If you ain't going to tell them what's going on, they're going to roll right up out of here and tell the guard to move. Look, man, screw him. Whatever happens to him, happens to him. Ain't nobody defending him. They roll out. Now, he can't go back to his bunk. There's a bunch of dudes waiting for him to come back to his bunk. DeAndre tells him, the only way that's going to die down is you got to see me. I'm in the bathroom. Come to the bathroom. That's where a lot of dudes fought. But I told you they can't fight in the back because the guards and them are now aware of what's going on. He cuts back through the aisles. Now, to get to the bathroom, he can't go backwards because the dudes are back there. The dudes in front of him, there's a washing machine and a dryer. And you go around this corner, there's a little stall doors that go into the bathroom. On one side, you got toilets and sinks and then a partition wall with shower heads. We go into the back shower area and rumble. DeAndre, come back to the shower, man. Come in the bathroom. Come in the bathroom. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing to you. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing to you. And don't nobody do nothing to him. Let him get through. Let him come to the shower. Let's see if his heart is as big as his mouth is. In this situation, you ain't got but one or two things to do. You're not getting out of the fight. So your only other option is to check in. You go to that control booth in front of everybody and tell that guard, I fear for my life. They want to fight me. I'm not gonna fight. You got to get me out of here. My safety's online. Dudes want to hurt me. Or you can go in that shower and take your chances. I guess he goes with the latter. I got to go in that shower. No matter what happens, I got to take my racist ass in that shower in there and deal with what happens. So he starts walking forward, and there's a bunch of dudes. Two of Mike's homeboys that were still in there after Mike left are standing beside the washing machine, and he's talking to the other white dudes. Some of these other white dudes are looking at him. His one homeboy got pushed out the chairs, now sitting on his bunk, like just looking at what's going to happen. What he does next is just kind of, it's mind-boggling. You've already got a full force fire burning in here amongst the inmates. It's not just a fire, it's an inferno. It's raging. Everybody in here, for the most part, of another color wants to do something to you. And then you got dudes of your same color that want to do something to you because you're just so ignorant, right? He tells his homeboy, the dude sitting in the bed, he said, whatever, hold my shirt. And he pulls his shirt off and he throws it on his bed, puts his swastikas and stuff on display, and he starts strutting down the aisle. And he says, N-word gonna learn today. These N-words gonna, and before he could finish redeveloping his racist phrase to get it out of his mouth, dun, 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 he makes a right to go past the washing machine and dryer, and Mike's homeboy hits him. Boom! You ever seen somebody get hit from the side and they're unsuspecting, so they don't get to brace for impact? They're more or less walking and talking. When the punch hits him, Mike's homeboy hits him. Launches. You see, he rolls that money back. Boom! Pivots. Takes off. What I'm about to tell you next might have been one of the funniest things I ever seen happen in a fight. He hits Loki, and everybody's quiet. I don't know. I didn't know he was going to hit him. I don't know if he just decided to hit him. I don't know if this was pre-planned, but he catches Loki, and it's quiet in here. You hear the crack of the fist meet jaw. And no sooner you hear that, you hear the man shit all over himself. Now, he's got these little gray basketball shorts on that we can get in DOC. He stumbles sideways, recollects himself, and looks over, and you hear, oh, he shitted on himself. He hit this boy so hard that Loki literally voided his vows, stumbled 3 or 4 feet to the right, and what had came out of him fell and hit the floor and was running down the back of his legs. He looks at dude, now what's up? He's not going to go over there. They're going to jump him. The control booth officer by now sees everything that's going on. She's not banging on the window, but she's going ahead and call for more officers to come back in because that little camera up there can see it. And even if they don't want to do nothing, if the higher-ups, the warden, the assistant warden, the captain, the major, roll this video footage back and see her in the control booth watching and not doing anything, she's going to lose her job. She goes ahead and calls more guards. He goes into the bathroom, and that dude just, hey, he shitted on himself, Dre. He got shit all over himself, Dre. He got shit all over himself. No sooner he comes in, you see Dre come out the bathroom. I don't know. Nah. Nah, somebody that beat the shit out you, boy, I ain't about to fight you. Yo, shit ass. Matter of fact, we not fighting the shower. Matter of fact, you need to go take a shower. The people come running in. What happened? You got DeAndre, he's done made it back to his bunk. He's in the clear. He never even had to put a hand on him other than that smack he gave him. You got Mike and those dudes, they done slid off and went back to their bunks. And the guards go in the bathroom. What's going on? And you got Loki standing in there. Shit pouring down the back of his legs. A trail of shit leading from over the wash machine where he just got slapped, running his mouth. Saying some of the most racist rants a man could ever say. Guard takes one look at him and says, damn, boy, I knew it was only a matter of time for somebody. Slap the shit out your ass. Go ahead, pack your stuff and let's get you up out of here. And that would be the end of old Scott, a.k.a. Loki, his racist antics, and his points of views towards other inmates. People, it is 2025, man. And even back then, it was like 2013. We're not going for that. This ain't me advocating for any race. This ain't me going against my own race. This is me saying that we're all equal. You skin us down and we're all red underneath that. We all bleed red. We all have mamas, we all have daddies, brothers and sisters. And we all deserve respect until you do something to make that respect go out the window. If you haven't already, go check last night's live. We did almost a 4-hour live last night, but we got into so many different topics. And if you don't catch it live today, make sure you put it on Monday morning. You get to work, throw your earbuds in, and go ahead and kill half your day with my live stream playing. I appreciate everything y'all do. And around here, we love everybody that deserves love. Scott, a.k.a. Loki. Got everything you had coming, boy. I bet you'll think twice before you pop out your mouth around a bunch of black dudes with that N-word again. And if you don't, just think back on the day that you shit all over yourself. But anyways, these streets, these jails, these prisons, all this crazy world inside of a already crazy world we live in. And as always, y'all know what I'm doing. Just trying to keep y'all entertained. Are you not entertained? What up, Boney Tony? And like always, this is Jay Williams. Let's live life. To all my real ones, and there are some real ones watching, but y'all still watching me. Man, y'all know how we do. Salute. Much love, y'all.